Welcome to the demo of the Point and Speak app beta from Acrobatics. My name is Gary Bartos. In beta version 1.4 of Point and Speak, we will test a feature for improved hand recognition. The new feature is a mode called Train Hand. After you test Train Hand mode, make a note of the numbers called Trained Values and Training Quality. These numbers can be found in the settings screen and are initially set to, quote, no value. I'll start up Point and Speak 1.4 with VoiceOver enabled.
VoiceOver on. Point and Speak. Double tap to open. Use 3D touch to show home screen actions.
We'll wait for the startup messages to complete.
Point and Speak version 1.4. Select Read Text Mode. Settings. Tab. 2 of 2.
I swipe right and then double tap to activate settings. In settings, I double swipe up to the screen title. Then I swipe right to Read Text Mode, and then swipe right again to Train Hand mode.
Settings. Selected. Read Text. Button. 1 of 2. Train Hand. Button. 2 of 2. Train the app to improve hand recognition.
I'll double tap to activate Train Hand mode, and I'll select the Camera tab.
Selected. Train Hand. 2 of 2. Train Value. Training Quality. Clear Training. Fast. Selected. Slow. Clock Direction. Reset All. Tab Bar. Camera. Tab. 1 of 2.
What you'll do in Train Hand mode is place your hand in front of the back-facing camera until you hear it announce percentages. If my hand goes out of the view of the camera, the app announces that my hand is no longer visible.
Hand is not visible. Train Hand mode.
Move your hand around a bit during training.
3% trained. 38% trained. Hand is not visible.
I'll place my hand back in view until we reach 100% trained.
Hand is not visible. 76% trained. Train Hand complete. Review values in settings. Train Hand settings. Tab. 2 of 2.
Now I'll select the Settings tab again.
Settings. Read Text. Selected. Train Values. 80, 47, 54. Training Quality. 52.
So if you restart the app, you can read the values in settings. You can retrain the app by clicking the
Clear Training button
and then running Train Hand mode again. The main purpose of testing version 1.4 is to report these numbers. This video concludes with the original demo and a review of current settings. One change is that the Capture tab is now called Camera tab. In this video, I'll demonstrate Point and Speak on an iPhone 7. The Point and Speak app will make appliance control panels and other physical interfaces accessible to the blind and to those with low vision. Point at a button with your finger, and the app will speak, telling you what the button is. We'll be using a paper target representing a simplified microwave. For this stage of testing, a paper target is a safe and convenient alternative to gathering everyone in a room and using the same microwave. The video shows that for this demo, I've attached the paper target to a door with the center of the target at roughly shoulder height. To indicate which end is up and which side faces out, the target has a label at top in contracted braille that reads, "This side toward camera." I'm holding the phone in my left hand. For this version of the beta, the iOS device must be held in the portrait orientation with the longer axis up and down and the circular home button at the bottom. The screen is facing my body. The back camera is facing away from my body and pointed in the general direction of the target. Hold the phone in a fixed position relative to your body and rotate your body left or right to point the camera. This is similar to locking up degrees of freedom when using a white cane. I'm standing just close enough to touch the target with my free right hand. My outstretched right arm is slightly bent when I touch the target. Detection of your free hand works best if the camera is at least as far away from the target as the length of your forearm. For the demo, I'll have VoiceOver enabled.
VoiceOver on. Settings. Accessibility. Settings.
If VoiceOver is not enabled, then the app itself generates speech. The demo shows two videos side by side. These videos were shot from different perspectives and synchronized here. One video is shot over my shoulder and shows the phone in my hand and my free hand reaching out to touch the target. The other video shows a live feed from my phone as I'm operating the app using VoiceOver. During the demo, and especially at the beginning, you will hear me talking as the app is announcing what I'm pointing at the same time. At the beginning of the video, you'll hear 6 because I'm pointing with my index finger at the number 6 on the target. I'll unmute VoiceOver and run the Point and Speak app on my phone. We'll hear the startup message followed by target found and target lost announcements as I orient the phone toward the target.
Speech on. Move cam selected. Point and Speak. Tab bar. Move camera a little bit up. Move camera a little bit up.
The app has found the target. Now I'm placing my free hand on the target.
6.
My fingers and thumb are all relaxed, and I'm holding my hand against the target
6.
as though I were about to push open a door with my fingertips.
6.
Sometimes my palm may touch the
6.
target.
6.
Next, I'll move my hand across the paper target
6.
so that we can hear point
5.
and speak announce what is under the tip of
4.
my index finger.
1. 2.
If I hold the tip of my index finger motionless
2.
on some text,
2.
the text will be announced repeatedly at intervals
2.
of 2 seconds.
2.
If I move the tip of my index finger over a QR code,
2. Bottom right QR code.
then the QR code will be announced.
Bottom right QR code.
If my hand blocks 2 or more QR codes, we'll hear the target lost
Top right
sound.
QR code.
Then I'll move
Top
my
right
hand
QR
down
code.
on the target again.
6.
And that was the target
6.
found sound.
After an edit, I have my phone in a lanyard around my neck. The lanyard holds the phone below my collarbone. As before, the screen of the phone faces my body and the back camera faces the target. If you use a lanyard, you may need to steady the phone with one hand to minimize motion of the camera.
Next, I'll describe additional features of the app. The app has 2 tabs at the bottom of the screen, the Capture tab and the Settings tab. On startup, the app loads the Capture tab to capture live video, find the target, detect my index finger, and announce what I'm pointing at.
9.
I select the Settings tab by swiping right and then double tapping.
Settings. Tab. 2 of 2.
Once the Settings tab is selected, video capture stops.
The interval for audio feedback can be set to fast, medium, or slow. Analog clock directions can be given in place of up, down, left, right directions to move the camera.
If you activate the Reset All Settings button, it will reset all settings to the default values.
The Inkprint Target lacks tactile features, just like many real-world appliances. For Braille readers, there's a Braille reference sheet that matches the layout of the Inkprint Target. In the top third of the Inkprint Target are 4 QR codes arranged in a rectangular pattern. There are 2 QR codes at the top left and 2 QR codes at the top right. A QR code is a machine-readable barcode that the beta app uses to track the location of the target, and I'm showing in the video the Braille reference with the Braille for QR code. Centered between the bottom 2 QR codes, roughly a third of the way down from the top edge of the target, is the Inkprint text clock. This text represents the multi-purpose LCD display of a typical microwave. And here is the Braille for clock on the Braille reference sheet. Below the clock is a grid of text 3 columns wide and 4 rows tall. This grid represents the buttons of a microwave number pad. Buttons 1, 2, 3 are found in the top row, then 4, 5, 6 in the second row, 7, 8, 9 in the third row, and finally 2 buttons, 0 and start, in the bottom row. In the Braille reference sheet, the number pad buttons occupy roughly the same space as the corresponding text on the Inkprint Target. The uncontracted Braille for the Start button is about twice as wide as the word Start on the Inkprint Target. At the bottom of the Braille reference sheet is a line of uncontracted Braille that reads Target 14. That concludes the video for Point and Speak Beta version 1.4. We look forward to your feedback with the numbers for trained values and training quality. Thank you.